All right, we'll get this special city council meeting of the City of International Falls to order. First thing on the agenda is the roll call. Please note that all members are present. First item is under new business. This ended up being added in today just because of emergency situation, obviously. We had a repair or remove order issued for the property at 1020 9th Street. With one of the last big rains that we had, it ended up caving in the basement or the foundation to the building. The family that was there has been removed from the property. I'll hand this over to Attorney Nelson.
Thank you. So this one took quite a bit of research for me. So this 1029th Street property, the owners of it are actually an LLC out of Colorado. If you remember, we had to serve them by publication on this one. So first day of publication was, going off memory, I believe August 23rd. Service is completed 21 days after that, then they have 21 days to answer. Technically, they have 60 days to repair it because we originally did the 60 days as a reasonable amount of time to correct the issue. So going back, looking through all of this, we can technically file that motion a week from Friday. Friday, October 4th, we can file that motion, get it into the court system, get the judge to approve the tear down, even though that 60 days hasn't lapsed. Alternatively, you can do an emergency order that gives them a shorter period of time. Anything reasonable, which in this particular case, I mean, there isn't really a reasonable amount of time to give them because the building may come down. But anyway, so you could do an emergency order with a shorter period of time than the 60 days. The problem being, we can't get them served. We've tried serving them before. Their LLC registered address on the Secretary of State website in the state that they are incorporated or they have their business filed under isn't actually a physical address where we can find them. So we had to serve by publication last time, and it would be a similar kind of situation that we could probably do it by sending certified mail. They'd have to do a certain number of attempts, and then we could post it to the property, but I don't think it would be any quicker than October 4th, and I don't think it would be any cheaper. Now, there are other things we can do, which I've spent time researching. If the building official, Kelly, you're Kelly. Yep.
Kelly, I waited to make sure that you knew that. That was what we were doing there.
Yeah.
The brothers mix me up. So it's like a tiny taste of probably what people feel like when they see Heather and I. But anyway, if for some reason there's a concern about imminent danger to other people, other properties, that sort of thing, you do have the okay to do reasonable measures to either secure the property, which I don't really know how you do with a structural issue. It's not like, I don't know if you can just like post it up so it doesn't fall, or you can take it down and we can deal with it after the fact if it comes to that issue. But what I would recommend is we file on the 4th, hopefully get into the court pretty quickly, which I think we would. And tear down that way. And then there are bids, so I think we can open those today. So we're kind of like already prepared for as soon as the court signs the order. But it's up to you guys.
Okay. And just so you guys know that we've already went through the process for this. We're not going to do it. We were not going to do it as on today's agenda. The reason it made it to today's agenda is because the foundation has completely washed away. So I would suggest that we move forward with opening up the bids and awarding it to the low bid, and then moving forward with the October 4th. Can we open up the bids at this time? Okay. Please.
Were you asking? Yes?
Sorry.
For a point of order, Mayor, do you think we should, Chelsea, help me, should we approve that doing the, filing by the court on October 4th first and make a motion and a second for that, then open the bids and do that process. Would that be more appropriate to go through that route?
Yeah, and it would just mainly be,
Cleaner.
we can file October 4th regardless. What you're actually doing is shrinking that 60-day time frame that you had previously given him to correct it.
Okay. So the chair would entertain a motion at this time to move forward with the demolition on October 4th. Is that correct?
File for demolition.
File for demolition on October 4th.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Counselor Holden. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Counselor Kaler. Any discussion?
Hey, time to shut it off, I'm sorry.
That was good discussion.
Yeah?
I'm
All
sorry.
right. So we have a motion and a second, call the question.
Aye.
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 And I'll vote yes. Motion carries 5-0. So at this time, can we open up the bids?
We received 3 bids for demolition for the property at 1020 9th Street. I will open them in the order in which they were received. The first bid is from Travis Thompson, received on 9/18. The amount is $8,899. The next one is from Steve Boyum was received on 9/19 at $150. That bid is $15,425. The third and final bid received was from J&J Contracting, and that was received on 8/19 at 3:57 p.m. And that amount is $14,200.
Okay, so the low bid would be Travis Thompson for $8,899. The chair would entertain a motion to accept that bid.
So moved.
We have a motion by Counselor Buller. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Wagner. Discussion? Hearing none, call the question.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
I'll vote yes, motion carries 5-0. Is there anything else that we need to do at this time for this particular house? No? Okay. So next we'll go to review, discuss, and adopt a resolution approving the 2025 preliminary budget and levy. I'll hand this off to to Emma to walk through the process and where we're at.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm before you today to give you and the public a high-level overview of how we arrived at where we're at today in adopting our 2025 preliminary budget and levy. Our 2025 budget process began in mid-July after the completion of our 2023 audit process. I dispersed budget worksheets to all department heads whereby they compiled their respective departments' budgets. And I worked on computing all of the salaries, benefits, insurances, revenues, and more. And then I worked closely with department heads to ensure that we completed a thorough review of each departmental budget prior to it coming before the council. Once I had all of the departmental budgets and requests from our outside partnership agencies compiled, we began overviewing the departmental budgets at our Budget and Finance Committee meetings beginning on August 12th and every week thereafter, all the way through last Monday, September 16th. Once all of the departmental budgets were reviewed and compiled into the master budget, the draft preliminary levy was projected to be a 14.99% increase. Factored into this includes a 3% cost of living adjustment for staff wages, which in total all wages, benefits, insurance, and workers' comp insurance adjustments had a net levy impact of roughly 4.6% increase, meaning that we were starting out with nearly a 5% levy increase without even looking at other expenses. Overall, the 2024 budget was reverted back to 2023 expense levels with the exception of wages and the addition of vehicle leases. This left us behind with increases to things like utilities, fuel, postage, and other consumables that only increased over the past 2 years. So there were necessary increases in these areas that needed to be made. We reallocated some appropriations to the 809 EDA fund that met the criteria in an effort to reduce the impact on the levy. We also reduced the funding to the airport. The airport was requesting an additional $129,000 over their 2024 city appropriation to bring it to a total of $480,587 for 2025. But after lengthy discussion, the committee did not feel that it could support funding it at that amount, given all other city departmental budgets had to take major cuts the past 2 years. We did discuss the fact that there is currently a 50% city and 50% county local share for airport funding, which causes City of International Falls residents to be taxed on both their city and their county portion of their taxes. And the City of International Falls makes up just less than a quarter of the Coochin County net tax capacity. However, City of International Falls residents end up funding over 60% of the local share of the airport, given the current funding model in place. So we just felt that it would be a disservice to the citizens to continue funding at that level, given what they were asking for in 2025. There are many other services that the City of International Falls has to provide its citizens, and that nearly $200,000 cut that we took from their 2025 funding request was necessary to get to a palatable levy figure. The airport, under the current preliminary budget levy, would still receive $281,173 from the City of International Falls. Overall, I believe it was a smooth budget process, and I thank department heads and yourselves for your patience, feedback, and willingness to be flexible, as this was my first budget season in this role. I felt everyone did a great job working collaboratively, looking out for the best interest of the citizens, and I really feel like we left no stone unturned in this process. And measures were taken to get us from that initial 14.99% levy increase down to the 8% levy increase before you today. All in all, I truly believe that this is the best preliminary figure we could have hoped for, and I thank everyone who made sacrifices in their respective budgets to get us to where we are today. The action being requested today is to adopt the resolution before you approving the preliminary tax levy collectible in 2025 and setting the final budget and levy input meeting for Monday, December 2nd, 2024 at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. The hope is that the public will attend with an open mind and willingness to listen, and we will present an overview of the 2025 budget levy to them that evening. Thank you for your time, and please let me know if you have any questions in regards to the budget levy we have before you.
Does anybody have any questions for Emma at this time? All right. So before you is the resolution, and it moves forward everything that Emma has just pointed out from the Truth and Taxation meeting all the way to setting the budget, or setting the levy at 8% for this year. So if there's no questions before us, I'll just quickly ask City Administrator, do you have anything to add?
I have nothing additional, Mayor, just that I want to thank Emma for all her work on this. She's put together and, worked with each of the department heads along with myself and with you folks as well. Like she said, weekly for the last how many weeks, and hasn't been easy, not going to be easy. We just thank her for that, and you guys as well, and the department heads.
All right. So at this time, the chair would entertain a motion to adopt the levy at 8% and the resolution for the budget and levy.
I'll make that
We
motion.
have a motion by Councilor Holden. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilor Wagner. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the question.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
And I'll vote yes. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you so much,
Thank
Emma.
you.
All right,
Thank you.
without anything else on our agenda, this meeting is adjourned.